Welcome to this week's Movie Math, where everyone went to the movies, but they went to see different movies, resulting in a top 10 that was up 25% overall from last year when Prisoners debuted, but there was no single big winner. However, The Maze Runner was enough of a winner for Fox, delivering the 6th biggest opening ever for September here in the US, while also doing very strong business abroad. Like Ender's Game, The Maze Runner couldn't keep up with the girls, yet unlike Ender's Game, it's not burdened with a huge budget. That makes The Maze Runner a lean and mean box office machine, and Fox celebrated their victorious first lap by setting a date for the sequel, September 18th, 2015. Yes, while The Hunger Games relocated to November after its first movie, largely to take the then vacant Twilight slot, just as Divergent has decided to stick with March, so has The Maze Runner with September. In fact, Fox is quite proud of their ability to launch a movie in September with a publicity campaign that targeted younger viewers and only younger viewers. As you might recall, just last week, I asked how long Will Packer could keep the months of September and January all to himself, and now it looks like September is already beginning to slip away. But while Packer takes a small hit, this is overall a big win for Hollywood, showing that the whole year is indeed open for business, as long as they take the time and care to position a movie properly. And good thing, because we can all see the movie posters on the wall. The traditional movie season simply can't keep up with Tinseltown's supply and audiences' demand. Now, interestingly, while The Maze Runner features an almost entirely male cast, its audience was 52% female and 65% under the age of 25. Dylan O'Brien's strong appeal to both sexes and industry recognition that he did a nice job promoting The Maze Runner should make him an even hotter commodity in Hollywood. Chris Pratt Jr.? Expect his management team to try and shoehorn another gig into his schedule, somewhere between Teen Wolf and the Scorch Trials. Not bad for yet another guy discovered on YouTube. Maybe Liam Neeson should make some YouTube videos, because this weekend he delivered one of his worst debuts ever. Some might say it was the R rating, but Universal says it's because his audience of older males is whipped. That's right, they wanted to go see A Walk Among the Tombstones, but their lady friends insisted on seeing This Is Where I Leave You, or Staying Home, as the B-level ensemble cast, and that's being generous, also failed to generate a decent debut. Universal's evidence? Well, despite strong tracking with older males, Tombstone's audience ended up being 51% female, which though would actually imply that couples did go, and it was single guys who didn't. But regardless, the audience as a whole skewed older, 77% over the age of 25. As for This Is Where I Leave You, 63% of that audience was female and 86% over the age of 25. Wait a minute. 52%, 51%, and 63%. Looks like the demographic that really went to the movies this weekend was women. As for the rest of the box office, looks like nobody was interested in giving No Good Deed a second look, as the Idris Elba thriller fell almost 60% in its second weekend. With no big deal signed this previous week, Elba's window of opportunity to build on the flick's strong debut might have closed. Dolphin Tale 2 also took a tumble, falling about 40% in its second weekend, and there's now no way Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will be able to reach 200 million domestically. And for all of you on Guardians of the Galaxy watch, it's still holding at #1 domestically and #7 worldwide for the year. If we see any movement, I'll be sure to let you know. Right now, it's about 50 million behind #6, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Over in the specialty market, it seems award season hasn't totally kicked in yet, as all the debuts here were lackluster. The most impressive debut was actually Simon Pegg's Hector in the Search for Happiness, while The Guest and The Zero Theorem were both DOA. And it looks like Kevin Smith's Tusk is as much a horror story at the box office as it is on screen, opening in 600 theaters yet delivering a very poor per-theater average. It's hard to compare it to Smith's last film, though, since Red State opened in just 1 theater and only ever expanded to 5, plus it debuted early on demand. None of that exclusivity in theaters or accessibility on demand did much to help Red State at the box office, but perhaps it would have made a difference with Tusk? Also, it's worth noting that Red State was the debut of the new Kevin Smith, for better or worse, while with Tusk his transformation is old and perhaps even stale news. As for this coming weekend, Idris Elba is about to get schooled as Denzel is set for one of his biggest openings yet. Meanwhile, Laika is set to experience some deja vu with The Boxtrolls, expected to open on par with Paranorman. And that's the weekend box office. I'm Grace Randolph, and we just did some movie math. As always, thanks for watching. And I hope we'll go beyond the trailer for these other top movies.